Hey everyone, I'm Keisha Charmaine and I'm back with a new video. And in this video, I want to talk about air drying your locks versus heat drying your locks. And I'm sorry if you can hear the wind in the background. It's very windy outside and it's scary. So leave a comment below. I want to know, do you tend to air dry your locks or do you tend to heat dry your locks? Of course, if you go and get your hair groomed at a loctician or a loc stylist, 10 times out of 9, you're going to be heat drying your locks. You're going to be sitting under an overhead dryer. Now, artificial heat is really good for helping to set your hair. If you are using gels, they tend to help the gels set in place, which create the longer lasting hold. If you're curling your locks, the heat will help to dry your locks in place so that when you do take the curlers out, your curls are lasting. And of course, heat will help to ensure that your hair is fully dried to the core of the lock. Now, there are some cons when it comes to heat drying your locks, of course. Excessive heat can over dry your hair, causing it to be brittle, making it harder for you to retain moisture. And that can be really problematic, especially if your hair is color treated. Now let's talk about air drying. The pros of air drying: it's convenient. You're not sitting under a dryer. You can actually be busy. A lot of us who do our hair ourselves, a lot of us don't have overhead dryers. Those tend to take up a lot of space, and sometimes using a handheld blow dryer can take a lot of time if you're not using a hood attachment to create the overhead dryer experience. But a con with air drying is that your hair may not be fully dry. You may end up going to sleep and covering your hair when it wasn't fully dry, which can create mildew and potentially mold in your locks, and it'll create a nasty smell. So here's my take. I definitely do both. I air dry my locks and I use artificial heat. I tend to air dry my locks more than I use artificial heat, but there's a way that I do it to help prevent mold and mildew and that odor. After washing my hair, I'll squeeze out as much water as I possibly can, and then I'll let it soak up in a towel for maybe 30 minutes. By then, my towel is soaked and my hair is damp and it's not dripping wet. It's a lot easier to air dry at this point. I'll go on with my grooming, I'll do my retwist, and I'll go ahead with my handheld dryer with my hood attachment, and I'll use that until I gotta move. I can no longer sit in one spot, and then I'll let my hair air dry for the rest of the experience. And that's typically how I'll dry my hair. But if it's summertime and I'm on the go, I will completely dry it in the sun. Of course, I'll still do the towel drying. Can't skip that. Can't skip the squeezing out the water. Can't skip the towel drying. Then I'll go outside in the sun after my retwist, if I did a retwist that day. And the sun will dry your hair pretty well, especially in the summertime. I very rarely go to the salon, so I'm very rarely underneath an actual powerful overhead dryer. But in my experience, it's not absolutely necessary. A handheld dryer is really good, especially if you get a hood attachment. I have one link below. It's in my Amazon Loc Essentials page of recommendations. And that's pretty much how I dry my locks. The fact that I wash my hair twice a month, using artificial heat or sitting under a dryer for it to dry completely would do my hair a disservice, especially because my hair is color treated. As you may know, if you follow me for years, then you know my hair was all types of colors and I've dyed it black. Recently, well, maybe like a year and a half ago, I did do some brown streaks. So you might have noticed some brown streaks in my hair. I didn't make a video about it because it didn't come out as vibrant as I wanted. But I do have some brown streaks towards the front, like somewhere around here, so in this area. So with the color treating that I do, I'm very conscious of what I do to my hair that can possibly dry it out. And I'm very intentional about what I do to help my hair retain moisture, such as the occasional conditioner, such as always using my rosewater leave-in spray after a wash, and a couple times throughout the week. This is my rosewater moisturizer. It comes in a continuous spray bottle. One spray lets out a lot of mist. And by the way, for a heads up, the diamond package on my shop, which is the full product line plus a refill of the Rose Water Moisturizer is available for 15% off. Get 15% off with the code DIAMOND at checkout, and you'll save on the full product line. So drop a comment below. Let me know how you dry your hair. Do you air dry? Do you use artificial heat? Do you use a hybrid of both like me? Let us know. Share your suggestions down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And visit KeishaCharmaine.com for your hair care needs as usual. Thank you so much for watching. Love, light, and locks.